All living things on Earth have been created with miraculous features and astonishing abilities. One can see hundreds of proofs of Allah's magnificent creation by examining just one single species. Birds, a group consisting of some 10,000 species, are well worth reflecting on and examining. Each separate species has been equipped with its own amazing characteristics, with their bright plumage and attractive appearances, sounds and songs that all carry a different message, flawless flight mechanisms that inspire modern aircraft, the ability to build nests, and their migratory expertise. Birds possess countless features that all represent proof of the fact of creation. At the same time, birds have also been created with a special ability in terms of establishing social groups. Many species of bird live in communities. They thus warn each other of approaching dangers. They work together to find food and shelter. They also help one another by engaging in altruistic behavior. Some birds are particularly noteworthy in terms of their intelligence and various abilities. For instance, they can dance. They can play games with you. They can understand what you say. They can even imitate sounds. Most of us have heard of birds' ability to talk, and we may even have seen this on the television or witnessed it live. There is no doubt that these creatures' ability to talk or imitate speech is something quite out of the ordinary. Human beings find it difficult to imitate someone else's voice or speech. The way that tiny birds are able to flawlessly replicate a great many sounds or exhibit the ability to talk is a most extraordinary state of affairs. All these miraculous properties of birds are means whereby we can witness the infinite might of Allah. Allah draws our attention to birds in a verse from the Qur'an. I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan. Do you not see that everyone in the heavens and the earth glorifies Allah, as do the birds with their outspread wings? Each one knows its prayer and glorification. Allah knows what they do. Birds communicate through cries, songs, and body language. They employ a variety of sounds to communicate with other members of the flock, neighbors, or family members. Every bird species sings its own particular song, although these songs may vary depending on age, sex, geographical location, and the time of the year. In other words, a bird knows what sound to use in which specific environment. We, however, are generally unable to understand the message carried by these sounds. However, some sounds made by birds do seem familiar to us. They sound familiar because these birds are able to imitate the human voice.
What's that?
Learning how to use speech, a feature of human language, is something very rarely encountered in animals. This feature is known to be present in only a very few animals.
Hello. Say hello.
The best example being the parrot. Parrots are able to imitate a great many sounds, such as a creaking door, a bottle being opened, a telephone ring, or a tune being whistled, as well as human speech.
Hello. What's your name?
People are amazed the first time they hear a parrot say, "Hello," when the phone rings, or "Who is there?" when the doorbell rings, or when they call someone they know by his or her name. Many people never properly reflect on this amazing phenomenon, or else regard it as something perfectly natural. The fact of the matter is that a large number of astonishing events take place in order for a bird to speak a single word.
Okay.
In order for a bird to repeat a word, to hear, or to sing a tune, its physical structure needs to be suited to the task. Its senses of hearing and sight have to function flawlessly. It has to be able to record the data it receives from its senses in its memory, and it also has to have some ability to understand and comprehend. Yet birds, like all other animals, are creatures with no free will or reasoning ability. Unlike human beings, they have no capacity for thought, taking conscious decisions, or acting in a determined manner in order to put these into practice. It is Allah, the Omniscient, who causes them to behave in this way, and it is He who permits them to exhibit surprising signs of intelligence. We are told in a verse that all living things are under the control of Allah. I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan. I have put my trust in Allah, my Lord and your Lord. There is no creature He does not hold by the forelock. My Lord is on a straight path. Contrary to what many people imagine, there is more to speaking or to imitating a sound than merely just opening and closing the mouth. Complex systems need to coexist in order for this to happen, and all the components of these systems have to work flawlessly and in complete harmony with one another. In the light of all this, birds' ability to imitate sounds displays a great many extraordinary features. Birds' throats bear no resemblance to those of human beings. Physical structures that play roles in human speech, such as the throat, vocal cords, tongue, lips, and teeth, are completely different in birds. In fact, birds actually lack some of these organs altogether. Scientists examine the way birds sing and speak thanks to fiber optic microscopes they place in their throats. In physical terms, however, they still do not know how birds manage to sing and to imitate sounds. Birds have no throats of the kind human beings possess, though they have a special organ known as the syrinx that allows them to produce sounds. This sound organ is like a dual instrument in the chest, where the windpipe divides into two bronchia. One end of the syrinx opens into one bronchium, and the other end into the other, and both of these channels are able to produce sounds. This permits the bird to produce two notes at the same time, and even to sing a duet with itself. The sounds produced here later mingle with one another, allowing bird songs to contain rich melodies. In other words, the complexity of the syrinx determines the complexity of the notes that emerge. In addition, sound quality is also influenced by the length of the windpipe, the narrowing of the throat, the muscles in the throat, and the structure and movements of the beak. Parrots, myna birds, and some singing birds have more syrinx muscles than other birds. In addition, the structure of the organ is more complex. This flawless creation in sound production in birds is also present in their sense of hearing. Birds have very sensitive ears and they hear in a different manner compared to human beings. In order for birds to recognize a tune, they have to always hear the tune in the same octave. Yet, human beings can recognize a melody even if they hear it in a different octave. Birds are unable to do this. Instead, they recognize timbres. A bird hears a wide variety of sounds to which it can respond thanks to what it remembers as timbres and harmonic variations. It is sometimes even able to produce these itself. Birds are also able to hear shorter notes compared to humans. They are also able to distinguish between sounds very quickly, far better than human beings. Birds' ability to perceive sounds is some 10 times superior to that of human beings. A bird can hear 10 different sounds in the time it takes a human being to hear one. Birds are so sensitive to sound that they are even able to differentiate musical pieces by such famous composers as Bach and Stravinsky. This exceedingly complex sense of hearing in the bird's function is created in a perfect manner. It is obvious that each of the components in their sense of hearing has been created with its own special design. Allah creates all living things with just the features they need, and He inspires intelligent behavior in them. I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan. Does He who created the heavens and the earth not have the power to create the same again? Yes, indeed, He is the Creator, the All-Knowing. His command when He desires a thing is just to say to it, "Be," and it is.